The brighter the light, the darker the shadow. These words from Carl Jung carry a weight that goes far beyond philosophy. They touch something deeply human. Perhaps you felt it too, that strange tension when simply being yourself, simply walking into a room, seems to awaken something uncomfortable in others. You haven't wronged them, you haven't spoken against them, and yet your presence alone feels like a mirror they can't bear to look into. Maybe you've noticed how your kindness unsettles certain people, or how your quiet strength is misread as arrogance, or how your ability to feel deeply makes others want to diminish you. It's as if your light, the very part of you that is pure and natural, collides with the hidden shadows they've spent years trying to bury. And that's the paradox Jung pointed to. The brighter the light you carry, the darker the shadows it exposes, both in yourself and in those around you. This isn't just theory, it's lived experience for many empaths. Those who walk through life with open hearts and heightened sensitivity, often discovering that their gift of empathy draws in not only those who cherish them, but also those who secretly resent them. This resentment doesn't always show itself as open hostility. Often it hides behind subtle remarks, quiet exclusions, or the silent weight of jealousy that hangs in the air. The truth is, your presence illuminates what others lack or refuse to acknowledge in themselves, and instead of seeing your light as inspiration, they see it as a threat. That is the dark reason people envy you, and it is the reason so many empaths find themselves feeling drained, misunderstood, or even targeted without knowing why. But here's the shift. Understanding this dynamic is the first step toward reclaiming your power. Jung was not warning us to dim our light, but to recognize the shadow it inevitably casts. Today we are going to explore exactly why this happens, why the empath's gift so often draws hidden envy, and, most importantly, how you can protect your light without hardening your heart. Because the world does not need you to shrink, it needs you to shine, with awareness, with strength, and with wisdom. And if you find these insights meaningful, consider subscribing to this channel, so together we can dive even deeper into Jung's ideas and uncover the truths that help us live with greater clarity and resilience. Carl Jung believed that within every human being lives what he called the shadow, a hidden side of the psyche that holds everything we deny, suppress, or refuse to acknowledge about ourselves: our envy, our bitterness, our fear, our weakness. It is not necessarily evil in itself, but it is the part of us we would rather keep in the dark. Most people spend their lives projecting that shadow onto others without even realizing it, because facing it within themselves feels unbearable. This is where the empath enters the picture. An empath is not just a person who feels deeply. An empath is like a mirror. Simply by being authentic, by radiating compassion, by carrying a kind of inner clarity, they reflect back to others what is missing inside of them. When an empath walks into a room, they do not need to speak to reveal this dynamic. Their presence itself is enough to stir the shadow in the people around them. Imagine someone who has spent years denying their own capacity for kindness, repressing their vulnerability, burying their need for love under layers of pride or cynicism. Suddenly, standing before them is an empath whose light makes that denial impossible to ignore. What happens then? Instead of gratitude, instead of inspiration, often what arises is discomfort, resistance, even envy. Because your light does not just shine, it exposes. And exposure is threatening to anyone who is not ready to face themselves. This is why empaths so often find themselves on the receiving end of subtle hostility or coldness they cannot explain. People may laugh at their sensitivity, mock their openness, or dismiss their gentleness as weakness, but beneath those reactions lies something deeper, the shadow fighting to protect itself from being seen. Jung warned us that the brighter the light, the darker the shadow that appears. And the empath embodies this paradox in human form. The more pure your intentions, the more your very being reveals the hidden cracks in others' armor. This explains why empaths frequently attract individuals who are drawn to them not out of genuine love or respect, but out of an unconscious urge to confront, or more often to resist, what the empath awakens in them. In other words, the attraction is not always admiration. It can be rejection in disguise. This is the painful irony. The very qualities that make you radiant, your empathy, your compassion, your emotional depth, are the same qualities that make certain people resent you. To them, you are not simply a person. You are a reminder of what they lack, of the softness they buried, of the truth they fear to admit. And while you might think you are doing nothing but offering kindness, what they feel is a confrontation with their own shadow. Jung's insight gives us a powerful lens here. The resentment directed toward empaths is never truly about the empath. It is about the inner conflict of the one projecting. This understanding is crucial because without it, an empath can internalize that resentment, questioning their worth, dimming their light in the hope of being accepted. But the truth is, their light was never the problem. It was the mirror it held up. So, when you notice hostility or envy directed toward you for reasons you cannot comprehend, remember Jung's wisdom. People are not reacting to you. They are reacting to the parts of themselves your presence makes visible. If Jung's teaching about the shadow helps us understand why empaths attract envy, the next step is learning how to live with this reality without losing ourselves. The first key is awareness. You must remind yourself again and again that the jealousy or hostility you encounter is not a verdict on your worth, but a reflection of someone else's inner conflict. Their reaction is about their shadow, not your light. This shift in perspective can free you from the trap of self-blame, because too many empaths spend their lives wondering, "What did I do wrong?" when in truth they did nothing but be themselves. The second key is boundaries. Compassion without boundaries quickly turns into exhaustion. Saying no does not mean you are unkind, it means you are wise enough to protect your energy. The empath's gift is the ability to feel others deeply, but that gift becomes a curse when it leaves you drained and resentful. So learn to honor your limits, step back when the weight becomes too heavy, and understand that protecting yourself does not make you selfish. In fact, it allows you to continue shining without burning out. The third key is balance. Empaths often give endlessly because they cannot bear to see others in pain, but unchecked giving leads to self-neglect. True empathy includes empathy for yourself. Make sure you are not pouring so much into others that you forget to fill your own well. Balance means allowing yourself joy, solitude, and rest, not just carrying the burdens of everyone else. Then comes the importance of choosing your circle wisely. Not everyone deserves access to your light. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your sensitivity rather than mock it, who see your compassion as strength rather than weakness. The right relationships are not those that drain you, but those that nourish you, people who reflect your light back instead of trying to dim it. Finally, every challenge you face as an empath is also an invitation to grow. Each time you encounter envy, rejection, or misunderstanding, ask yourself what it reveals, not about them, but about you. What strength does this situation call forth in you? What lesson does it teach you about discernment, patience, or resilience? Jung believed that integration, facing both light and shadow, is the path to wholeness, and empaths are given countless opportunities to practice this integration in their daily lives. So instead of seeing your struggles as proof that something is wrong with you, recognize them as a deeper initiation into self-knowledge. When you see envy for what it is, when you set boundaries without guilt, when you give without losing balance, when you choose relationships that uplift, and when you embrace growth instead of shrinking, you begin to master the art of carrying your light without apology. And that is the ultimate protection, not hiding who you are, but learning to walk through the world with awareness, strength, and dignity, unshaken by the shadows that try to resist your glow. In the end, we return to Jung's timeless wisdom: the brighter the light, the darker the shadow it reveals. Carl Jung taught us that light will always attract shadow, and for the empath, this means you will always serve as a mirror to those around you. Some will recognize themselves in your reflection and love you for it, while others will resist, resent, or even reject what they see. But that does not mean your light is wrong, it only means it is powerful. Remember, your empathy, your sensitivity, and your capacity to feel deeply are not curses to hide, but gifts to protect. Your light is not a burden, it is a message, a reminder to the world that compassion and authenticity still exist. Guard it, nurture it, and let it shine without apology, because it is precisely what makes your presence irreplaceable. And as you walk this path, know that you are not alone. There are countless empaths navigating the same challenges, carrying the same fire, and learning to grow stronger with every step. So, if you found value in today's message, share your own experience in the comments below. Your story may be the very thing another empath needs to hear, and if this video resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, because together we will continue to explore Jung's insights and uncover the truths that allow us to live with clarity, resilience, and unshakable light.